The Tennessee Titans lose their first game of the season, 16-15 to the New Orleans Saints, and it was Ryan Tannehill who absolutely blew it. We're going to talk about that and more on a bonus edition of the Locked On Titans podcast. Let's get it.
You are Locked On Titans, your daily Tennessee Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to the Locked On Titans podcast. It is an emergency reaction to the Tennessee Titans loss to the New Orleans Saints, 16-15. I'm going to talk about Ryan Tannehill blowing it, Tim Kelly's offense not being good enough, Mike Vrabel letting the team down as well, and ultimately wasting a really good defensive performance. But before we get into all of it, I do want to thank you guys for making the Locked On Titans podcast your first listen each and every day. Remember, Monday through Friday, Tennessee Titans content all year round, always for free. Make sure you get subscribed, stay subscribed to the Locked On Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, where it's your team every day. Do want to let you guys know, later tonight on Sunday night, I'm going to have a full 30-minute recap up for you guys with Tighten Up and Tighten Down. On Tuesday, we're going to dive into the All-22, dive into the tape, talk about what happened schematically. Wednesday is What's Next Wednesday. We're going to start looking forward to the Chargers. We got another crossover Thursday behind enemy lines with the Chargers, and then Friday is Game Plan Friday. So a great week coming up on the Locked On Titans podcast. Make sure that you stay tuned in every single day. But you can blame the referees. You can blame Mike Vrabel. You can blame Tim Kelly. You can blame the offensive line. You can blame whoever you want, but at the end of the day, it's Ryan Tannehill's fault the most. If we are giving out pieces of blame pie, if we are talking about who is the most at fault for this 16-15 loss to the New Orleans Saints, far and away, it is Ryan Tannehill. Ryan Tannehill is stuffed on blame pie right now. He's absolutely binge eating blame pie right now. Again, you can assign blame to a bunch of different characters in this movie. No doubt about it. You absolutely can. And we're going to talk about all the blame that could be passed out for this loss. But at the end of the day, Ryan Tannehill went 16 for 34, less than 50% completion percentage. 198 passing yards, less than 200, 5.8 yards per completion. 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Not only that, but if you guys were watching the game that I was watching, Ryan Tannehill could have thrown 5 interceptions. He threw some awful passes. That one late at the end of the game to Marshawn Lattimore should have been intercepted as well. Ryan Tannehill could have thrown 5 interceptions. But look, it's not just about the bad throws that turned into turnovers. It's about the throws that he missed to wide open people that would have won this game, twice over. The Titans run a double reverse pass with Chigakonkwo streaming down the sideline wide open. Tannehill, bad throw. On the very last drive of the game, Ryan Tannehill has Tajay Spears wide open on a wheel route. Overthrows him and throws it too far left to where it goes out of bounds. Ryan Tannehill had a 28.8 quarterback rating in this game. I don't care if you want to talk stats. I don't care if you want to talk eye test. Ryan Tannehill absolutely blew it. And I see people in the chat talking about it. PTSD. This was the worst game I have ever seen Tannehill play outside of maybe that Bengals game. I honestly think that Tannehill was worse in this game. Now, the stakes of that playoff game, the season, everything riding on it, that makes it the worst performance, no doubt, because of the stakes. But in terms of just pure performance in the game, in a vacuum, this is the worst game I have ever seen Ryan Tannehill play. I mean, It's incomprehensible, and he's only getting older, and he's only going to be more banged up as the season goes on. If this is what rejuvenated Tannehill, healthy Tannehill looks like right now, I mean, there are a lot of other problems that we are going to discuss, but at the center of that is an old, crotchety-looking Ryan Tannehill, who he looks as old as he is, 34, 35. That Ryan Tannehill looked like a quarterback that was out there barely surviving today. So Ryan Tannehill is the most at fault by far. Blame pie. He gets the most of it. No question about it. Terrible day from Ryan Tannehill, but he was not alone. Okay? He was not alone. And we're going to talk about the other people that deserve blame here in just a moment. Before we do, though, do want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. These days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. You just create a free job post, then add it to your job profile, and LinkedIn is going to spread the word that you're hiring. They have simple tools like screening questions. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 in delivering quality hires versus the leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions do apply. Also want to let you guys know about FanDuel Sportsbook. Look, guys, the NFL season is here, and there is no better place to be than FanDuel Sportsbook. It is America's #1 sportsbook, and they have some incredible offers on the NFL season. Right now, new customers can bet $5 and get $200 back in bonus bets guaranteed. Now is the best time to join FanDuel. The app is easy to use. You can bet on everything from spreads to player props and more. Visit FanDuel.com/LockedOn to kick off the NFL season with an offer you won't want to miss. FanDuel, official partner of the NFL. All right, Titans fans, let's cap off this emergency reaction edition to the Titans' loss to the Saints 16-15. Again, I'm going to be doing these instant, immediate reactions about 10 to 12 minutes every single week after the Titans game, no matter what game it is. I'm going to have a full 30-minute recap out for you guys later on tonight on the YouTube channel and the podcast feed. I'm going to have shows all week for free, so make sure that you get subscribed right now. Get subscribed to the show. Free Monday through Friday Titans content all year round. Throw a thumbs up on the video as well. I know the Titans lost and that sucks, but hey, the show is free and the least you can do is throw a thumbs up on the video for me. But we talked about Tannehill. He gets the most of the blame pie. There's no question about it. 3 interceptions. Could have had more interceptions. Missed Chigakonkwo. Missed Tajay Spears. The offense was disjointed all day with multiple false starts and penalties. And Ryan Tannehill, again, is the biggest culprit in this. Don't let anybody lie to you. Don't let anybody cap for him. Yeah, the offensive line wasn't great. The guys weren't getting it wide open, but Tannehill was absolutely awful, and we need to be all honest about it. There can be multiple people to blame, and there can be one person who's more to blame than others. And that is Ryan Tannehill today. So don't listen to anybody trying to tell you different. Everybody can be at fault, but Tannehill can be the most at fault at the same time. So with that being said, though, with that dead horse being beaten at this point in time, I want to move into some other people who deserve blame for this loss. I mean, this was such a big game for the Titans. Go look at their schedule. Go look at their schedule right now, everybody. The beginning of the season was incredibly difficult. The end of the season isn't as difficult. The Titans needed to win this game to stay afloat. I mean, they're going to play the Chargers next week. Then they're going to play the Browns, who beat the crap out of the Bengals. And then they're going to play the Bengals. Do you think this Titans team has beaten the Bengals? Do you? And then week 5 is Indy. That's, whatever, but they played Jacksonville tough. And then they go to London to play Baltimore. This Tennessee Titans team could be 1-5 after 6 weeks if they don't turn things around quickly. Because it's not just Tannehill to blame. He was by far the biggest loser, the biggest Titan down of the day. But Tim Kelly's offense was disjointed. They had 4 false start penalties. There was a holding penalty. It didn't seem like people were open. The Titans barely used Derrick Henry in the second half, it felt like. And to me, one of the big things that bothered me about Todd Downing was that instead of running plays and just letting your guys win, they try to run all these schemed up plays where it's a quick throw here, or it's a basic screen here, or blah, 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 blah. They're not real screens, but like they tried to run a quick wheel to Tajay Spears on the left-hand side where Nick Westbrook-Akine was the outside wide receiver, and he basically did a stop short curl route, which really it was like a quick screen outside, a dump screen outside is what it really was. And they run so many schemed up plays like that they don't just let their guys win, and then when that schemed up action isn't open, the entire play is dead and there's nowhere else to go because that was the only option that they had. Also, I just want to say Mike Vrabel let the Titans down in this game. Mike Vrabel let the Titans down in this game. All right? On the third down holding call, the Titans were playing defense. It was third down. The Titans stopped the Saints on 3rd and short, but there was a holding call. Instead of accepting the holding, moving it back to 3rd and 12, and allowing your defense to win, Vrabel declined the penalty and gave the Saints a free field goal and gave them 3 points. Why did Vrabel do that? Not only that, but at the end of the game, Mike Vrabel had to go for that touchdown. You have to go for that touchdown. You have to. You have 3 timeouts in your back pocket. Even if you don't get the touchdown, the Saints are backed up inside their own 10-yard line, and you still have all 3 timeouts. You get a stop, you force a punt, you have better field position, you still can go down and score a touchdown. Am I crazy here? Why would you take that field goal to make it 16-15 and then give the Saints the ball back willingly? If you take that field goal and you give the Saints the ball back, you still have 3 timeouts and need your defense to get a stop. So why not keep the ball in the hands of your offense who had just driven down to the 10-yard line and try to get a winning touchdown? Mike Vrabel played it safe. It was cowardly. There was another 4th down earlier in the game when the Titans had an opportunity to go try to score, and they took another field goal. The Titans laid down and died and just took field goals instead of going for it. You can argue the earlier one. I'll accept an argument there. But Mike Vrabel had to go for it there at the end of the 4th quarter. And the fact that he didn't and gave the ball back to the Saints with a 1-point loss, I mean, that's just unacceptable to me. It's just crazy. It's just and the Titans get a punt blocked. The Titans made more mistakes. They had penalties. The Titans were the worser coached team. Mike Vrabel got outcoached. The other team was cleaner. The other team was more ready to go. Look, if you're a Titans fan right now and you're absolutely pressing the panic button, I can't blame you because it looks like exactly what we saw last year. A quarterback who's past his day, an offense with a lack of direction, a lack of playmakers, and a defense that's given their heart and soul, creating turnovers, doing all they can, and wasting their efforts. It feels like 2022 all over again. I hope that's not it. That's a week 1 overreaction that I'm hoping is not the case. But if you're pressing that button right now, I can't blame you. But with that being said, that's going to do it for my instant reaction here. Make sure that you get subscribed. Make sure that you hit the thumbs up button, like the video. I'm going to be back later on tonight going on the YouTube channel, probably around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a full 30-minute recap that's going to include Tighten Up, Tighten Down. Let me know who you guys think is the most to blame for this loss down below. That's going to do it for this postcast edition of the Locked On Titans, though. I'm going to be back with you guys in just a few hours, but the Tennessee Titans lose to start the season 16-15. That's going to do it for me, though. As always, this was Locked On Titans.